Black Lagoon is a series best enjoyed by those who wish to revel in badassery. This show is at its best when it's being used as a vehicle for violence, vulgarity, and voracious characters. Black Lagoon is about a company of pirates who get involved in a lot of nasty stuff. This is a show where the characters aren't good people, but have enough going on to make for interesting character studies. Rock, the main character, starts off as the relatable everyman who acts as the audience surrogate in the show's world of crime, but it's not long before we realize he's got issues of his own and is more able to adjust to and revel in his new life than one might expect.
Yeah! You got fucked!
A lot of the other characters, even his friends, will talk about how he's too innocent for this world, but that's not quite accurate, and that becomes more apparent as the series progresses. Rock's story isn't merely of naive innocence giving way to cynicism, it's of someone who exists between those two mindsets, making an honest attempt to make a positive difference in the world he's found himself in, and trying hard not to fall into the cynicism others fear he might fall into. Then you've got Revy. She's the show's poster child, and for good reason. She's one of the most badass characters anime has ever produced. Kamina, Dio, Alucard, bunch of chumps is what they are! This gunslinger girl will eat their bullet-ridden corpses for breakfast. But Revy's not a great character just because she's a badass, though that does play a huge part in it, but because of who she is and how she got to where she is today. She's had a, let's say, fairly shit upbringing, and fought her way tooth and nail to survive and get good enough at doing the gun thing to land her job at the Lagoon company, which means she is set as long as the company exists. Thanks to all that, she's stopped giving a shit about most things. She lives to drink and shoot, and can barely stand to care about other people. She is the cynic Rock might become, and one of the few people preventing him from getting to that point. The other characters maybe don't all have as much going on, but they're no less interesting. Dutch is the stoic leader of the Lagoon Company, and I got the sense that despite all appearances, he was the one who cared the most about everyone else. He goes out of his way to stop Revy from doing something she might regret. He tried to prevent Rock from taking a job he thought would be too much for him. That possibly would have killed him. And he does the gun shoot thing too. That basically means he's the best boss ever. And then there's Benny, who's basically me if I were a pirate. All of these characters make up the Lagoon Company, whose ostensive occupation is smuggling, but usually ends up taking on a variety of odd jobs that results in gunfights. There's a lot of action scenes in this show, and they're all over-the-top bullet festivals. Given that most of them are helmed by one of anime's greatest badasses, I find them to be immensely gratifying. Oh, I don't have anything else to say here. Action scenes are cool, yeah. And I guess the dub bears mention. I'm at the point in my anime watching career, where I'm watching 99% of my cartoon subtitled, and I only popped on the dub for this show because it has a reputation as a show that you're supposed to watch dubbed if you can. And to that reputation I say, I mean, it was nice to hear Revy drop a bunch of shits and fucks everywhere. But aside from that, none of the performances stood out to me as particularly great. No performances were bad either. What I'm saying is it just felt like another dub. If you like dubs, this will work great, I guess, but otherwise, you're not missing much by sticking to subs, which are always a safe bet. Oh, and English Rock was voiced by this guy, who voiced English Light Yagami, which was really, really weird for a while, so yeah, I kept waiting for him to eat a potato chip. So that was Black Lagoon. It's a badass show filled with badass characters and just a bunch of badass stuff. Watch it if you like badassery. I need a thesaurus, I said badass way too much. Thanks for watching day 17 of 31 Days of Anime 2017. Today was number 15 on this list, Black Lagoon. Come back tomorrow for number 14, the sequel 5 years in the making. In the meantime, I have a homework assignment for you. Think about what your favorite anime was this year. Don't tell me just yet. Save it for the last video in this series on the 31st. Give it some good thought and tell me then. Thanks again for watching. See you tomorrow.